No, he's got the captions.
Yeah, we're
He's
live.
got the captions.
I'm fucking on it.
There it is. Look at that shit. After Dark, episode 1, bitches.
Listen, it's time. We haven't gotten dark in a long time.
We haven't. We have not.
And it's funny while we're talking about dark because I had my therapy session on the 30th.
Yeah.
and I told him, I was like, yeah, sometimes I get dark. And he said to me, he looked at me, he was like, how dark, Jonathan?
how dark do you get? It's like I don't know if you really want to know, buddy. I don't know if you really want to know.
I pretty much told him it was like pretty much everything except the suicide homicide thing. Like I told him like that it's pretty much everything else but that. And he was just like
that.
he was like okay, I'll take it.
I mean, it's sometimes when life hits, I've noticed a lot of times when life hits, obviously it tends to hit really fucking hard. It's like there's a reason that there's the old maxim, the idiom that says when it rains it pours, right? Because when shit starts piling on, it's like shit just does not stop piling on. And then the next thing you know, you turn around and you're facing this like Mount Everest of shit that you're trying to like dig a hole through and climb your way out of, like with like this little entrenching, like an e-tool, entrenching tool, and you're just digging it out one lame ass shitty shovel scoop at a time. And it's like, when is this going to stop? And it's like, well, I'm 40 years old. It really hasn't stopped yet. So, yeah, there you go. Got the e-tool. Look at that. Nice. Nice, dude.
Handling everything. Well, this is when you got to spread your cheeks,
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, man. Sometimes $20 is $20, bro.
Listen. Oh, look at this. It has a
hard times are hard times. Homie.
Okay.
Hard times
hold up. This is something I never even noticed.
When it rains, it pours.
It's got a compass.
Look at that's cool. That's cool. Do you know how to use it? Do you remember how to use it?
No. And I'm not even an LT, bro.
I just know that
right?
goes on the north side of trees.
Man. Holy crap. It's fucking December, dude. It's fucking December. Today is December 1st.
Yeah, and that means we are, where is it? 24 days till Christmas.
Yay.
No, yeah. I mean, dude, what do you mean now? What? I mean, we got 12 days of Christmas. Okay, so what would you choose for 12 days of Christmas?
Feasting, fighting, and fucking. That's like all I would do. You guys know like Yule Tide, the 12 days of Christmas, that's where that came from, right? Like that's how the fucking Vikings, like they celebrated the winter solstice with 12 days of drinking, fighting, and fucking.
Oh, it's like that seated Robin Hood.
Yeah, or in Vikings, like it's like literally like that's where Yule Tide, the Yule Tide, like Yule is that is a Germanic pagan thing.
Is it really?
And yes, yes, dude, yes. Like Joe, you should fact check me on this, dude. Like look up like where does Yule Tide or originate? Like where do the 12 days of Christmas originate? It's not in the Bible. I promise you that much. It ain't in the fucking Bible.
Well, they always said like a lot of Christmas tales. Well, obviously, like you just said, Christmas was originated as a satanic, pagan.
Yeah, pagan. It was every culture worldwide celebrates the solstices and the equinoxes. Okay, it's like the changing of the seasons, and once humanity kind of evolved and became agricultural based and started growing crops and shit. The whole success of the fucking tribe the next year depended on how good or bad the winter went. And then you had to plant crops in the spring or plant crops and pray for rain and make it through the fucking summertime and then harvest in the fucking fall. And then you had to make it through the fucking winter again. And that was basically your whole fucking life. So no shit in the dead middle of winter when you can't do a fucking thing. I'm going to party for 12 days straight, homie. All right. If at least three people don't fucking die during this party, it was a lame party. You know what I'm saying?
I remember 12 days of snow that we had in 1996, and we fucking dug our way into elementary school. Like, holy shit!
I bet. I mean, modern society is such a vast departure from humanity's roots, really, because we still do shit in the middle of winter. We operate as if everything is just another regular day. And the passing of the seasons do come and go, obviously, still. We can't stop that, but we really don't stop ourselves. And it's not the way it used to be at all.
A funny story.
I found the Viking Christmas thing here. It says every December the Vikings would celebrate the midwinter solstice, the longest night of the year, and the daylight is the shortest of the year. The celebration included drinking, feasting, songs, games, banquets, and sacrifices for the gods and the ancestor spirits for 12 days straight. They called it Yule, which is pronounced the same as the word for Christmas in Norway today. Yule.
Yule, like Yule, Happy Yule Tide.
Yeah.
So Jay was right. Jay was right with the little factoids.
Jay was right.
I was totally right.
Well, he's a fucking history buff. Like,
I said, bitch.
I'll tell you what was the day that Christopher Columbus died?
Christopher Columbus?
When did he die?
I don't know. I don't know what day he died. I really don't.
May 20th.
May 20th. What year? Do you know?
15. I think it was 15. I think it was 1509.
Okay.
Either 1509 or 1529. I feel like it's somewhere in between there.
Joe, what do we got? How's John's Jeopardy knowledge?
20th, 1506.
1506.
In
He just flipped up the
Valladolid.
So Christopher Columbus died of COVID-19 on May 20th, 1509 or 1506.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting though, how now nobody, we don't talk about him no more. We just we don't. It's like that meme. It's like that meme with. I don't
necessarily want to go down the rabbit trail with this one, but I'll tell you what, dude, it's probably for the best because the dude was kind of a cocksucker, and like what I grew up learning in elementary school is a far departure from what actually kind of like went down during that.
Oh yeah, he died like a dog. He died like a dog.
That's rude, Mr. President.
It was really rude, Mr. President.
Don't be rude.
I'm sorry, you're the one who's rude.
Are you guys Beatles fans?
Yeah. Not really.
Not real, Jay. Really?
I got a couple songs. I got a couple songs on my playlist that I'll play once in a while, but on the whole, no. John Lennon can kind of kiss my ass.
My wife and I, we haven't dived into it yet. There's a new Beatles documentary. It's like, I think it's like 6 hours long.
Oh shit! I remember when the anthology came out in the '90s, the Beatles anthology, because one of the songs on the playlist that I still listen to this day was a new Beatles song that they finished basically after when they started doing this anthology in the early '90s. They finished recording a couple songs that had been unfinished basically. So the three remaining Beatles got together and overlaid some tracks on top of some already pre-recorded John Lennon stuff. And they finished the song and released a fucking Beatles song like in the early 90s called Real Love. And I love that fucking song. It's a great song. And it was really cool being in middle school and seeing kind of like the history behind the Beatles. And, they had obviously a massive impact on music.
Of course they did.
A lot of, you're not going to hear me deny any of that. That's like denying Metallica had a dramatic impact on the metal scene, even though I'm not a huge fan of Metallica, right? Like,
and Metallica's playing that Triller boxing event too.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to hear me downplay the impact that they had over history. It's more like just not a huge fan. Just like, oh my god, they're so not. Don't listen to that stupid fucking. You know what I call Metallica? I call them Licka because they took all the fucking metal out in the '90s. All right,
Licka. I call Metallica Licka because they took all the metal out in the '90s.
That's right, dude.
Listen, I don't know why. Listen, that they did the what was the Mission Impossible song they did? And it's time I disappear. Do you bury me when I'm gone? And then they had the say anger around my neck.
It's just it's just big rubbery noodle thing going on right now.
Push it out.
You want to talk about? You want to talk? You know, there's a few ways to make me go limp really quick. That was one of them.
So singing a Metallica song makes you go limp.
Oh no. Like Saint Anger. No, we're not even going there. Like no. Like one of the best songs they've come out with in like a long time is like a cover song of an Irish drinking song. You know, Whiskey in a Jar. And wasn't that on like Garage? Wasn't that on like Garage Inc? It's like
Yeah.
Well, that's
so okay. So wait a minute. So we got a deep dive on you real quick because I know that you listen to like, you do listen to Metallica. You like Slayer. You like all these great bands. But who is your favorite band? Who's your favorite?
I don't really have a favorite. That'd be. It's. I would say I tend to go through seasons with my musical listening.
Okay.
So picking a favorite is almost an impossible task. Like there's just no way to like really nail it. Like if you put a gun to my head and said you can only listen to one thing for the rest of your life, I'm probably just gonna look the dude in the eye and say silence, because I'm not gonna because I don't like. What do you want me to? I can't pick one band for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a single musical, whatever. There's bands that I probably could get away with listening to for the rest of my life because they have ginormous fucking catalogs.
Yeah, that's for like my favorite band. I could deal with that. Like I could deal with listening to Thrice for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Grateful Dead, Neil Young, some of those guys, they got catalogs. They're Dave Matthews Band. Their catalog is just like it's ginormous. So it's like if I had to,
if you have a radio station on Sirius XM, like you got it. Like right. You got, because there are bands like U2 has a Sirius XM channel.
Right.
Pearl Jam has one, I think.
Yeah, you could do like a 3-hour road trip and never hear the same song twice. Like I get it. I mean, but as far as like an actual like legitimate favorite, I've got bands that I could probably put on lists within specific genres.
Yeah.
But outside of like making lists in specific genres, like it'd be very, very hard for me to nail one down over any of the other hundreds that are out there.
The most surprising band I've ever heard you say was Under Oath.
I've seen them.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, dude, I loved Under Oath, bro. Like when I was in high school, they were just.
I used to
listen to me, and I was just. And then he's like, "They're Christian." I was like,
"Yeah, I used to be like a hardcore. Yeah, I used to be like I was a hardcore Jesus freak for like a few years in my mid-20s, and like I was very into the Christian metal music scene, I guess if you want to call it that. I was, bands like Demon Hunter, Norma Jean, Under Oath, Impending Doom is a Christian death metal band.
Soul Embraced.
War of Ages. I fucking love War of Ages. Those are like some of the best. War of Ages was a great band because you could tell like the band members were like classically trained, and then the vocalist just had these pipes. You know what I mean? I did not say that about Creed. Fuck Creed, dude. Oh my god! Don't even put that on me. Dude, fuck that shit.
Creed. No, listen. If you want to know about good, you want to talk about like good like metal bands, we got Demon Hunter, Under Oath, and which let me tell you, Under Oath just came out with some bomb ass music recently, which I think you should listen to. Another band, Living Sacrifice, Soul Embraced, who Evanescence stole a song from. I will say that. But what was another one? Architects, who I love Architects. Architects is another listen. Demon Hunter. Some of that fucking religious music is fucking good.
That was one of the things that surprised me when I was doing my stretch of time in church. Right, was how good some of the music actually was. Like they actually did a really good. And I'm not just talking about the metal genre. I'm talking
everything
about
else
across the board. They kind of figured out pop culture and how to drag the kiddies into Sunday school, basically. So the music was not bad. The music was really fucking good, like very, very, very striking, a lot of times very emotional,
melodic,
good and bad, melodic. Like there was songs that if you're a Jesus freak, there's a song out there for you, right? Like whatever. But yeah, nowadays not so much. I haven't really dabbled in that genre in quite some time. So.
I actually ended up dabbling a lot in that music too because the lead singer of Thrice became a pastor for he became like a head pastor for a church in Orange County for a long time. So he started making religious music, and
Right.
it turned out to be some of the best music he ever made.
Sure. And
You know,
I think that's something that that's kind of a common thing if you're talking about artistic temperament and being inspired. When you get
it's
truly
very
inspired,
powerful.
when you get truly inspired by something and it drives you to do your art, whatever your art is, whether it's music or painting or writing or video, movies, making movies or whatever, when you're inspired, you can tell because it comes out in your work that you're inspired. And that's really, it doesn't surprise me that if that's some of his best music, that does not surprise me one bit. Like,
Yeah,
not one bit.
it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting because it seems like you know love seems to be an easy way to make music, and they find like the love in higher power, and it's really awesome some of the stuff that's written in some
Yeah.
of these songs because it's really fucking
It's a
good.
very,
I'm not gonna lie.
it's a very nice thought, but I'll tell you what, what else is a nice thought is how much fucking hate makes a song good too.
It does.
Like, I
It
fucking
really
love,
does.
like, when
There,
you like,
I mean, Taylor Swift is made off of all the fucking breakups she's had. I mean, come on.
no, listen. There's
dude,
this
let
one
me
band that
let me tell you something about Taylor Swift, dude. If me and Taylor Swift, if she was ever my girlfriend, her next album would be about doing cocaine and getting butt fucked. Okay, so like, let's not go to Taylor Swift right now. All right, like,
Almost.
I was kind of going in the direction of like, Slayer, Danzig, Pantera, Machine Head, Behemoth. You know what I mean? Like Cannibal Corpse. Like hate, like real hatred, like pure,
he said pure.
unadulterated. Like, I'm in Afghanistan right now. I'm getting ready to go on mission. I don't know if I'm gonna fucking see the next 24 hours. I want to get fucking charged up and fucking go out like a fucking champion if I have to today.
He's gonna listen to "God Hates Us All" by Slayer.
Yeah, it's Disciple, dude. The song's called Disciple. Hell
Well,
yeah.
the album,
album was called-
the album is called "God Hates Us
Oh,
All."
here's some trivia for you. Do you know what day the album God Hates Us All dropped?
I do actually.
I think we said it like a year and a half ago on this podcast.
Yeah. You have to tell me. It came out. It came out on the very.
It's actually a very apt sound clip there because the God Hates Us All by Slayer dropped on September 11th, 2001.
That's right. Yeah.
It's funny 'cause the Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed.
It is so interesting too because I actually listened. I actually showed my brother-in-law that song, and like he looked at me. He was like, "The fuck is this?" I was like, "This is Slayer, my friend."
Fucking Slayer, dude. The last up to this point, actually, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the last concert I've seen at this point right now is Slayer. That's the last concert. That's the last live concert I've been to. I caught one of their shows on the very. They added like 3 dates on the very end of their final world tour, and one of them was in Colorado Springs. And my buddy got me a ticket, and we fucking went and saw Slayer in like November of 2019. And I think that's the last concert I've been to up to this point, honestly.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it was so fucking badass, dude. Like at the very beginning, all the curtains were like hanging from the ceiling all the way down, and they shine these like big fucking bright 4 like crosses on the curtains. And for like a split second, you could hear everybody like kind of like what the fuck, Because there was like a heavy like bass drum beat going, and the fucking these 4 crosses like shine on the curtains, and everybody's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden it was just like doom 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 doom, and they just started like turning upside down. Fucking Joe, I'm gonna send you a clip real quick. Fucking, I'm gonna find this clip on fucking YouTube.
Absolutely wild.
Oh,
I believe that because I've seen.
That's how it started. That's how the show started. Like they started the show by playing Repentless, and it was fucking like, hold on, I'm gonna look this shit up. Like, you gotta follow my fucking.
Yeah,
This is a world that I have never really delved much into. Is like heavy metal and shit like that.
Oh, heavy metal's amazing.
I was more into country music growing up and shit like that, and like the 90s rock,
Right.
grunge alternative, what have you. I got into a little bit of emo shit, AFI and whatnot for a minute there, and then swiftly moved on. But aside from that, man, like it's strictly been country music and mostly the mainstream shit. I'm sorry to say, until And old school shit. I like a lot of the
There's
outlaw.
well, see, and here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely like everybody has their own musical tastes, I guess, and that it's like whatever gets you through the. Joe, if you can, when you get a chance, pull that up because that was the opening of the show, the last concert I've ever been to. How do you top this? You know, how do you fucking top it? I don't know. It's fucking Slayer, dude. Fucking Slayer.
So I haven't seen Slayer, but one of the craziest shows I ever been to was I did see I know this sounds really stupid. Well, actually, let's watch this clip real quick.
It's not showing, or I'm not seeing it.
Uh,
There we go.
Do we have the? Do we do the music? Oh, wow.
And then they just start like slowly turning upside down. Yeah, dude. Because I'm like sitting there in the crowd, and you could kind of like hear everybody be like, "What the fuck's up with the four crosses, huh?" And they're all just like dun 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 until they're all upside down, you know? Like that fucking show is so fucking badass, dude. That is like bar none one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my fucking life. Like bar none. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Oh yeah. It only got better. It only got better. That was the beginning. It only got better. So yeah.
Hopefully, we don't get hit with any kind of copyright shit for that. Whoever fucking did that did an awesome job.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. So I don't know what they would do with that. Like we didn't really play very much of anything. So
Brought to you by
Slayer. Brought to you by fucking Slayer. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I remember. So I know this sounds a little like stupid, I guess, but one of the best shows I ever been to was actually, see if you can look this up, Joe. Anger Management Tour, Limp Bizkit, 1999.
Damn.
This was probably, dude. I went to this show.
How old were you? How old were you? Just out of curiosity.
I was 11 years old.
Okay.
Do you want video or do you want
Whatever you can find. If you can even find pictures of it, I think there's pictures of it on Google.
it says it's in 2000.
2000. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a little more sense because Significant Other came out in 2000, I believe.
No, that came out when I was in high school.
Significant Other?
Pretty sure that's the one with Nookie, right? And fucking, isn't that the one with the fucking Nookie and all that shit?
Probably. What do we got here?
Yeah, that definitely looks like the fucking 90s.
Yeah, well, so that's definitely the 90s. So during this show, you know what? You're just gonna have to Google the pictures. See if you could Google some pictures on this show, because there are I know there are photos. Come on, they got to show that stage. It was probably one of the most intense stages. Oh. Look at that.
Transformers and shit.
It's a fucking transformer.
Right on.
Yeah. Look, incredible.
Yeah.
Look at that. The set was so large, and I remember just watching this as 11, 12 years old. I'm like, holy fuck, this is crazy. I've been a Limp Bizkit fan ever since, but that was one of the craziest shows I've ever been to. Another crazy show I've been to was Rammstein.
Fuck yeah. They put on
that show. So that show was incredible to me because I got to see Mudvayne, I got to see Rammstein, System of a Down, and Slipknot on the same card. That's all like.
That's badass.
That's a badass fucking card, man. That's a badass lineup. And Rammstein, on the other hand, dude, let me tell you, you could watch any type of Rammstein video on YouTube and any type of show. They put on a fucking performance, bro.
Oh, fuck yeah, they do. Fuck yeah, they do. They don't fuck around.
I gotta see Guar, man. I haven't seen Guar yet. I'm hearing some good things about them.
Oh, dude. I hate. Guar is definitely still around. They're not going anywhere. It's just that band is just going to carry on like throughout time. But their the lead singer and one of their main guitarists have like croaked in recent years. And like, but the band is going to continue carrying on. Basically, like I fucking love Guar, dude. Guar is fucking badass. If you need
shit
dude,
like this, it's crazy. They like pee on people. with
oh,
blue
dude,
tip.
I can send you songs. And you're gonna be like, why the fuck do they do what they do when they're like this good at fucking music? You know what
Well,
I mean?
the one guy has like a fish for a penis, doesn't he?
They got all kinds of wild costumes, man. Like you got to look, dude. Odorous, the like Dave Brocky, Odorous Rungus, like the fucking
Yeah.
the lead singer guy. He was on like Red Eye on like Fox News, like
Oh,
several
yeah.
times. Like he was like their interdimensional like correspondent or whatever. Like it's fucking cool, dude. Like Dave Brocky was a badass dude, and of course he died of like a heroin overdose or some shit. Like
Yeah.
that band is like out there, like way fucking.
They are like their personalities are everything that you expect on the inside and on the
Oh
out.
yeah. Oh, they're all like they're all hardcore. Like they all have been. There's a band that a buddy of mine in the army got me into on my last tour in Afghanistan, but he got me into them before that tour. But the band it's an old hardcore band called Blood for Blood.
Oh baby.
And
Oh
that
yeah.
Blood
for
Blood for
Blood.
I fucking
Remember
love
Blood
Blood for Blood, dude. I used to fucking jam that shit before I'd go out the gate, you know, on mission and shit. I fucking love listen because like it's like literally just rage and hate in a bunch of songs. Like that's all it is. But it's so fucking.
There is something just so more personal with hardcore music though.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they got something to fight about. Like look at bands like
they got nothing to lose. They got nothing to lose. So why not fight?
Queens.
They got that's the whole point, right? Isn't that the whole point? Like when you got
Born Enemy.
when you're down and you're out and you've got nothing left in life, that is the best time to fight because you got nothing left to fucking lose. So why not fucking just start swinging? Just start fucking swinging on life, dude. Like it doesn't matter how fucking bad shit gets, man. As long as you're still fucking breathing, you put a little bit of that fucking fire and hate inside your heart, dude, and you're goddamn it, you're gonna get through the fucking the next goddamn day, dude. Like you're gonna fucking listen to like the next, you know. What Joe? What was you just like cousin kissing music? Is that
Apparently, that's really, I guess.
what Joe? What are you listening to right now? Let me.
I listen. I don't even know, man. You know what I listen to? I've been listening to Joe Rogan podcast. That's what I've been listening to, and the DD214 podcast, obviously. But
have you heard Sebastian Younger's interviews on Joe Rogan? He's the guy that he's the guy that did Restrepo and Korngold, and he wrote a couple books.
But I will check that out.
I would look at
Jocko Willink just a minute ago here yesterday. I was listening. It took all day to listen to that too. GPS keeps cutting in and out. But, and that was inspiring to listen to that guy talk. And he said it. He even said it himself. He says, "I don't want to have to run for president."
You don't want to. Who Jocko said that?
Yeah, he said, "I don't want to happen.
It's gonna happen."
I mean, if we're just gonna get celebrity culture in there and make it into this fucking joke that it's kind of become anyways, like why not at that point? I mean, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame Jocko. I wouldn't blame anybody on anybody on the left, anybody on the right. I wouldn't blame anybody at this point because
would you vote for Jocko?
I don't know. I'd have to see what some of his here's the problem. Here's the problem with politicians, and it doesn't matter if it's a guy like Jocko or reality TV star like Donald Trump or a lifelong politician like our current president, Joe Biden. Anytime they're on that campaign trail, anytime they are in the lead up and the run up to that election, regardless of what seat they're taking, but especially if it's going to be the seat of the presidency, I don't fucking believe what the fuck they say anyways. Like I mean, look at my entire life. I was born a few days after Ronald Reagan got sworn in. And I've been basically nonstop failed at the highest levels of government my entire fucking life. I don't trust fucking Republicans. I don't fucking trust Democrats. Okay. I definitely don't trust fucking a lot of people that hardcore choose one side or the other and absolutely refuse to fucking see any or make any concessions to the other side. I definitely don't get along with those people either. So it's like
you're independent.
I used to be independent until calling yourself independent itself became a fucking thing. And then my voter card says no party declared. I basically registered as no party. because I can't even call myself a fucking independent these days without people having some kind of an expectation on what my overall political views are. But point being, to answer John's question, and not to get too far down the rabbit trail on it, a guy like Jocko, like, would I vote for him ever? Maybe. I mean, fucking maybe. I mean, look up, do a Freedom of Information Act and look who I voted for in fucking 2020, because it wasn't Trump and it wasn't Biden, but I definitely voted. So, but I'm not going to say I exactly agreed all the way with that candidate, but it wasn't one of the other two fucks that I didn't vote for, right? So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
The independent party looks at times as just like, well, it's not the other two assholes.
Yeah, and that's the shitty part is I think our system has reached its kind of tipping point where having that two-party system is not conducive any longer to a country that is the third most populous country in the world. You can't have only two parties when you have the third highest population in the entire world. There's fucking China.
We'll get them next time.
There's India, and there's a big fucking drop-off, and there's us at number 3 with population. 330 million people.
Is India number 1?
India might be number 1 now. I'm not sure. They might have overtaken China. I'm not sure. But we're definitely number 3. And people forget what 330 million people actually look like. You're not going to get a two-party system working with that many people. You can't please all the people all the time, obviously. We need more parties. We need more actual, viable candidates, actual people up there. Where the fuck are all the doctors in Congress? Where the fuck are all the goddamn not lawyers?
The scientists.
Anything that's not a fucking lawyer. Where the fuck are they? Where are they?
I want to add in too, and in comic book now. Okay, look, I get it. Okay, sounds a little ridiculous, but in the book that I read called "The Last Days of Krypton," their politicians were scientists,
right?
Mathematicians, doctors, different people who brought something to the table. So where is that with us?
Well, I think we're in an age where we are slightly, I'm not going to say are entirely, but we are very slightly anti-intellectual in this country. And
Ron Paul was a doctor.
Yeah, and the Republicans fucking screwed the pooch with Ron Paul.
Oh, go ahead.
I would have voted for Ron Paul not only in 2008, voted for him in 2012 too. But the Republicans said fuck you. The Republicans said fuck you, and they lost, and they fucking lost. And the fucking Democrats, they had a chance at Bernie twice, and they said fuck you to Bernie twice.
Yes, they did.
I probably would. On the left side, I probably would have voted for Bernie. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely wasn't fucking voting for Hillary, and I definitely didn't fucking vote for fucking Biden. So that's what I'm saying. There's people on both sides where I would have voted for one or the other, but the establishment, like the Republican National Committee, the Democratic National Committee, all that shit. When you start getting into the weeds of the political committees, that's not who they put up, and that's not who the voters in the states put up as their candidate. So I was like, well, I guess I'm fucked, because here we go. 4 years later, I still have nobody to fucking vote for. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much, politics is a real touchy subject with me, because I'm not a fan, and there's very few that I think are even worth a shit. And the ones that are worth a shit often get silenced way quicker than fucking the ones that don't. So a lot of it to me is just I kind of throw my hands in the air and I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it.
There are a lot of good politicians I have never heard of, and I have to do research to look into them, because listening to Joe Rogan, him and Jocko were talking about who would be a powerhouse for the first woman. I forget her name even, because it's just I only heard it a few times on his show, but her paired with DeSantis would be fucking unstoppable.
Do you remember where she was from? Per se? Was she Republican or was she Republican or Democrat?
I think she was Democrat, actually. She was a Democrat, and the Democrats fucking hate her. And she might move.
That's a big problem. The big problem. The Republicans have always been good at circling the wagons and protecting their own, and the Democrats have always traditionally failed at coming together at the right time.
The problem is there's one big asshole at the very top of the chain who's just making everything hard for every fucking body. It's not Biden, and it's not Putin, and it's not fucking the president Xi of fucking China.
It's Soros. It's fucking
It's fucking
Soros.
somebody who's got enough money to sit there and be like, I'll fucking do this and I'll fucking do that.
They're called
And that's how
those
we're
are
gonna
called
get
those are
that.
called those are called corporations in the United States of America.
And they're owned by two. We're owned by two of them. Black Hat and something else.
Due to a law in the late 1800s, corporations actually have the same rights as human beings. So corporations are the reason we don't get a lot of those people in the limelight. Corporations are the reason that if you wanted to run for president right now, like make an honest to God run, you need millions upon millions of dollars, not just a million. You need millions, like multi-time plural,
And even still,
millions
there
of
was
dollars. And
the
you
only
would
other libertarian candidate who fucking could have been somebody. Forget that guy's fucking name because they had him so damn sheltered up. That's all
Are
it
you
was.
talking about? Are you talking about this
Nader?
year? This
You're
year's
talking Ralph
Libertarian
Nader?
candidate?
Not Joe Jorgensen. It
Ralph
was this.
Nader. Ralph Nader, probably.
It wasn't Ralph Nader. God damn it, I forget his name. They had set him up to do like an interview for the debates and shit, and like they were gonna do it virtually or whatever, and then they just never aired him.
Was that Bill Richardson?
That sounds like it might be
Was that the dude from? Yeah, he was former governor of New Mexico.
something like that.
Might have been, but he was one of the early advocates of the legalization of marijuana, and he was
wow. No shit.
a long time ago. He used to be
I smoke it.
He used to be a Republican, believe it or not. Before he went like kind of independent, he was a Republican for a long time, and he was the governor of New Mexico. And he was an early advocate for the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. This is back in the 90s, by the way. And the only reason I know about this dude is because I grew up in the fucking state next door in Arizona. So every once in a while, their news would fucking trickle over to our news. And that's kind of how I heard about that guy. But yeah, when he was making a honest, concerted effort to do other things and probably run for higher office, they tend to get ignored, and they tend to get ignored where it matters, which is in the media. And who owns the fucking media? All the corporations, right? So
There's only one person though that I would ever vote for.
And his name is John Cena.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. I would vote for John Cena. I would fucking vote for John Cena.
Same.
But I got a question for you though, Joe. Like if John, how can John Cena run for president if no one can fucking see him? Like how can that man run for president?
This is a fucking Hollow Man situation.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, how does the Invisible Man like run for president? I don't know.
If you think that if you people are bad about Bill Clinton getting ahead of the office, imagine what's going to happen with John Cena, Invisible.
Oh my God, that dude's going to be clapping all the cheeks, dude. And he's still going to make time to fucking go visit the sick kids in the hospital.
He's a married man.
Is he really?
He is. Yeah, he is married.
I don't know shit about.
Don't be rude.
I honestly don't. He kind of came after my era of like paying a lot of close attention to, WWE, and I knew who he was, but like I missed a lot of his build up, and like I missed all of that shit. So like,
okay,
I know who he is.
There was no build up for him because I saw his premiere. So I had watched the Attitude Era. Probably, I want to say like 70% of it. Starting at the 30% point, I probably watched it from on there. And when the Attitude Era finished, the day the Attitude Era finished, he came on. I will never forget this shit, and I'm remembering it like literally it just happened a couple minutes ago. He came out as the Prototype. That was his name. And he had a stupid little fucking Marine haircut, big as shit. No one knew who he was. I wish we could show the clip, but if you could find if you could find a Google screenshot though,
picture. Yeah, I was gonna say do a picture on this one.
It was John Cena versus Kurt Angle.
But he was called the Prototype.
Well, he was still he was.
Look up John Cena WWE debut. Then that's like you know what I'm saying. Like
I actually think it was still WWF at the time. I think it was.
It's entirely possible.
Anyways, I will never forget this. He comes out and Kurt Angle's looking at him and everything, and John Cena looks at him and and Kurt Angle's like, "Oh, what makes you think that you could compete against me?" Because at this time, Kurt Angle was still undefeated.
Right.
John Cena comes out. He goes, "Ruthless aggression," and he slaps the red, white, and blue out of Kurt Angle, and he
Got it.
slaps him.
Picture of the match, but I can find a picture of John Cena.
I fucking love.
Yeah.
I fucking
There
love.
was-
I
you
fucking
have to
love wrestling.
look
I
for a
love
picture.
wrestling.
Google a picture of John Cena, the prototype John Cena, because
I
he,
fucking love that shit, dude.
you know, and let me tell you, he's a hilarious actor, but all this shit he was talking about The Rock, and he went through the same fucking trajectory.
Trajectory.
This is it. That's not Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was great. Too. I was a big Kurt Angle fan with the milk and the 3 eyes. You know, he was a very motivating son of a bitch.
Well, and after the Attitude Era in WWE history, you know, so to speak, if you want to call it that, that was a hard era to follow up because it was massive. Like the Attitude Era is basically what put WWE over the top.
I will say though, I have strong beef with WWE because I do think they're racist. I'm going to say it right now.
They got you know, just like we were talking about earlier, they got too big for their own good, and they've kind of gotten to the point where they can basically like they're starting to teeter, and like the product is not up to the same par, and it's not as good of a product right now. Like AEW is coming in, and a lot of the diehard wrestling fans are saying like AEW is what they want right now. You know, like not what WWE brand is bringing.
I know a guy who just did a match for AEW. Cool. I think he would love to be on the show.
I think we need to talk to him then.
I'm gonna write to him. Lou Bruno. That is too fucking loud.
No, it's not. Have you ever had like that freaking like ball slapping sex too, where it's just like, you know, like when like two people are just getting fucking down, you know what I mean? Like where it's like everything is off the table, out the window. You're being loud as fuck, even though there's like a paper thin wall over here, and like your neighbor's twin babies that were just born 6 months ago are crying in the crib because they don't know what the fuck's going on.
What are you doing, step bro?
Yeah, dude. That's pretty much how it is, right? It's just like John got offended, Joe. He had to step away for a minute.
Never. I need a lighter.
Oh, you need a lighter.
It's not the same anymore. That shit sucks now. And plus, that all these wrestlers, they're racist and they're pedophiles. It's terrible now. It's terrible. Now.
I'll tell you.
A lot of them got exposed. It's wrong. It's fucking wrong.
It is.
Well, and that's the thing is like if you're gonna have the type of personality that desires to kind of desires that spotlight, I guess. Man, I hope your closet is clean when you get big, because once you're big, people are going to start asking questions, and they're going to start going to other people that knew you back in the day or whatever, and
that's how it happens.
And that's how stuff gets found out. And it's like, I got a lot of skeletons in my closet, but at the same time, all those skeletons, I'm not exactly like, if somebody says like, did you do this in 1998? I'm probably going to be like, yeah, I was probably me. And I was a shithead, and I'm sorry, it was fucking 25 years ago, but I'm not really going to be able to say, no, I didn't. But some of these motherfuckers, like, if I ever did some heinous ass shit, like a murder or something crazy like that, like, I'm not going to try to get famous after that. I'm just going to try to kind of keep a little profile. You know what I'm saying? Honesty is definitely the best policy. If you always tell the truth, you never have to fucking remember what you say.
This is true.
That's the easiest fucking way I look at it. Like, if you never,
true.
if you,
I mean, hey,
no, the fuck I wouldn't, dude. I mean, I'd be like that fucking Key and Peele sketch where he's like, that wasn't me, bro. And they're like, you literally wrote a rap song about the murder on the day it happened, and be like, that wasn't me though. You know what I mean? Like, we found a gun with your fingerprints, and be like, That was a setup, bro.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. Like I don't even know nothing
Run.
about that.
They're just a little too long. Like I don't need them that long.
What was that? What was that? What was that one?
That was just.
I think it's called Rud.
from Vine.
Run.
You know,
That doesn't
for-
even exist anymore, right?
No, Vine's gone. But for those of you
No.
who ever wonder what it looks like behind the scenes, this is literally it. Me sitting here giggling like a little girl at everything I'm doing to Jay.
But you know, that was the funny
like trying
thing
to keep a
about
straight
like,
face while you're like in there fucking around with me.
Can't do it.
You know, like, because what is it? Like, Vine was like what stories and reels are now.
The Vine's like what TikTok is. It was just on it was just that way ahead of its time. And it got shut down for some reason. I forget why they shut it down.
Which one was that?
Vine. Yeah, I can
That's
look
where
it
the
up.
Logan brothers came from.
Probably
Paul brothers.
It probably got shut down because the wrong person wasn't making enough money. I
Did
mean,
someone buy it out?
I have no idea. I don't see that stuff right there that you guys are talking about. That's the stuff I do not keep up on. I have no.
It failed to support its content creators due to high levels of competition, lack of monetization and advertising options, personal turnover, as well as issues at the parent company, Twitter.
My only social media footprint right now on the internet is like Facebook and Reddit. And on Reddit, I'm like semi-anonymous.
I'll be right back.
So it's like, yeah, like I don't even mess around with like Vine, Instagram, all that craziness, dude. Like I have no clue about. I hear about stuff through the grapevine, or if I see something on Reddit, or on Facebook, I'll see stuff. But I have zero desire to have that many profiles and try to keep track of all this dumb shit. Like nobody needs to know that much about my life. You know what I mean? Like nobody.
It's too invasive in your own privacy. There's no need to be out there posting. I use Facebook. I use Instagram. Very seldom do I use Instagram. I use Twitter for.
Can you explain Instagram for me specifically?
I can't. That's how little I use it.
It's just
What
pictures. It's just pictures. You take pictures. It's got a stupid filter, and that's all that it is.
And then Twitter is just making short Facebook posts, basically.
Yeah.
That's why even have that many platforms? I don't get it. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like I don't need.
But that's the thing. They buy each other out.
Then you've got the ones that are independent. Like what's that?
How many does Facebook own? They own like 3 or 4.
They own Instagram. I know that.
Yeah,
definitely fucking.
And Oculus. They own Oculus as well.
Yep.
They also own WhatsApp.
Meta owns everything.
They own the last fucking 12 years of my life since I joined them.
Oh yeah, they're called called Meta now. That's right. I forgot about that. But that's weird. Okay, no, we need to talk about it because that's weird.
You're such a cocksucker.
No, but listen, because you remember, Sean warned us about this, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
We talked about this.
This has been coming for a hot minute, and yes, he did, and that's these
you are fake news.
The people that have that kind of money and that kind of power in the world, okay, they're not going to give it up. They're just going to take more. Like that's what it doesn't matter who you are or how altruistic you were when you were 20 or 21 years old, and you had these big bright ideas of a utopian society and across the earth and hands across fucking America. That shit doesn't fucking exist in reality, because as soon as you fucking get up to a certain point, okay, like you just became the fucking bad guy, and everything you do after that point that you're not doing for everybody else, you just fucking sold out your little childhood fucking dream, right? Like everything after a certain point that you're not doing, you just became that asshole. And like that, it's happened to all of them. They're all like, fuck Mark Zuckerberg, fuck Jeff Bezos, goddamn fuck Elon Musk. Like they're all fucking assholes. They're all power hungry assholes. Oh, by the way, they're also all fucking nerds. Like have you ever seen a bigger group of like unconfident fucks? Like they're like the nerds that like never learned how to fucking like socialize with people, but now they have like ultra trillion billions amounts of dollars. And like the whole world wants to jump on their dick. And it's like, dude, you're not fucking special. Like, you ain't shit to me.
On the
You
other
ain't
hand,
fucking shit to me.
why they're so average because
now
they
one of my
had no
favorite.
friends and they had
Wait,
nothing
what? One at a time. What?
maybe because they had no friends, they had nothing better to do. That's why they got rich because they're like, you know what, fuck it, I might as well just do this
Yeah.
with my time.
And now they're fucking comic book villains. That's
And
the
we're all
problem.
stupid for having friends.
That's the
I'm
fucking
telling
problem.
you, Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor.
He
Yeah.
is.
Dude, he
And
is.
everybody loves the shit out of Elon Musk. And I'll even admit that the hot rod in space fucking picture, that's a badass picture. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Now
But here's the thing. He's a fucking asshole too. That dude's a comic book villain
I
too.
think he's the Batman of our universe.
No, fuck no. And let me tell you this right now. I would never fucking trust a billionaire with fucking any decision that had to do with like my personal security or fucking anything that like fuck Bruce Wayne in comic books, fuck Tony Stark, fuck goddamn Mr. Fantastic, Richard Reed, fuck all those assholes because they think they're fucking. Just because you are smarter than most people doesn't mean you know what's best for everybody else.
Who do you think is the most noble superhero, Jay? I want to know who do you think is the most. Well, I think I actually know
You
this.
already
one.
know. I was just gonna say you could probably guess. It's not
The
hard.
Punisher.
No, fuck no. Punisher's a mass murdering monster, dude. Are you kidding me?
But
Fuck
he's
no.
got, but he's got morality.
No, we
He's
don't.
got
No,
morality.
oh,
Yes,
no,
he
no, no.
does.
Oh, no, he does not.
He
Oh,
kills the
no.
mafia.
No, that does not make him moral. No. The Punisher is not a hero. That not even close. The Punisher is
He's an anti-hero.
He's an anti-hero. The motherfucker is a villain that does shit that society is kind of okay with. That does not make him good. Like the Punisher is a goddamn mass murdering psychopath, dude. Like, let's get that. Like, no, dude, it's Captain America, dude.
What about Deathstroke?
Which one?
The one that I grew up with. I don't know how many different universes they've spawned at this point. Like fucking the one that I grew up with.
Now I'm feeling
Okay.
like this.
Steve Rogers. He's talking about Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers, who is also the hero of Frank Castle, the Punisher, believe it or not. And there's comic books that deal with that.
Yeah.
There's a comic book where the
He
Punisher
looks up to him. There's many. He talks about he's a veteran. He's a war hero. He's a There's a whole bunch of shit.
There's an issue where Frank Castle peels a Punisher decal off of a cop car and rips it to pieces in front of the cops. And he says, "If you guys are looking for a hero, his name is Steve Rogers." You know what I mean? Like, and they put that in the Punisher comic book. Like, Punisher is not your fucking hero. Like, Steve Rogers is definitely a hero. Superman back in the day, like Truth, Justice, the American Way, like that old school. Those are what I would call noble heroes, right?
Yeah, but even Superman lost his way.
Well, I mean, it's after what Doomsday killed him. I don't know.
No, listen. Even before Doomsday killed him, he was still questioning his own morality because if it came to the point that he had a chance to go back to Krypton, he would leave Earth behind in a heartbeat.
That doesn't necessarily that's not necessarily an immoral decision, though. I don't necessarily think that's immoral to do that. I mean, just because you're
leaving a planet behind that's already being targeted.
Just because you're the god of a planet doesn't mean you are beholden to that planet or to have.
You think Superman's a god?
But you go down with the ship, and you know that.
What would you call him? If there was a being, an entity that had all the powers that Superman had, and it existed in real life on this earth, what would you call him? Would you not call him a god? I'm not saying God,
no, of course.
But would you not call that a god?
A demigod.
If there's nothing on this earth that can kill him, what else is he?
Is there anything on Earth that can kill Loki?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a huge Thor and Loki. Yeah.
Listen.
I don't know. I'm just saying to me, Superman would be a god. A god, not necessarily the god.
No,
a god.
I mean, if we already knew his history where he admitted to it, where he's from another planet.
Right.
I mean, I don't think I would consider him a god if we knew that much about him, though. In all aspects, he's an alien.
What makes but what makes a god to you then?
He doesn't make life.
Well, does a god have to just be imaginary and in your head for it to be a god to you?
No, but I would expect a god to create life.
Why?
To make a better world.
Maybe this guy just tips the scales of justice back.
dragons.
I'm telling you, no. I mean, let's deep dive on this. I want to hear your philosophy on this. Why does a god have to create life instead of just maybe keeping the balances or the scales balanced? Excuse me.
Well,
Keeping the scales balanced. Like
well,
why?
at this point, look at how Earth looks already. Okay, and we're
Oh,
talking
it's
about,
too late.
and we're
Oh, it's
looking.
already
Okay,
too late.
okay, we got we got Lex Luthor. Okay, we got Brainiac already on his way. Okay, we
Yep.
got
With his hair
Zod.
plugs.
We got
With his fucking hair plugs.
yeah, we got Zod, who's in the Phantom Zone waiting to get out. So we already have, So my thing is, you have the technology to bring Krypton back to life. You can do it, but
Right.
why don't you?
Bruh.
So for me to say that you're a god, you would want to create your own life because you already see that the Earth is, like you said, it's too late. So why wouldn't you want to make something better out of it?
So why wouldn't he just go back to Krypton and repopulate Krypton himself? That's creating life, right? Why does it have to be on Earth for him to be a god?
Krypton's gone.
Well, yeah, but if they have the technology to bring it back, right? That's what you were saying. That's what you were saying, right? If they had the technology to bring back Krypton and Superman leaves Earth to go back to Krypton to help repopulate it, would that not make him a god? And the fact that he is able to do that under his own power and fly across space and time under his own power, does that not make him a god?
He's not the only one, though.
He's not the only one, but he is in comic books. He's kind of the one. I mean, let's be real.
Okay, but look at the other side. We got Darkseid too.
Captain Marvel.
Darkseid in some aspects.
I fucking love Darkseid. Darkseid and Thanos are both my homies, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Thanos was right.
Thanos was right, dude. Thanos was not wrong. He definitely wasn't fucking wrong.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of these, or at least John's shown me a few of these theories about Thanos actually being right, and it's kind of sad and scary that you want to agree with it to a degree, but
to a degree, yes. I don't necessarily. I think if to me that was one of the biggest plot holes in the MCU was when they finally got around to introducing Thanos, and he finally got around to kind of starting to hatch his master plan. With all the technology that they had and all the magic and all those powers, why do you have to wipe out half of everybody? You'd probably, in theory, use some of that same technology and magic to create food, shelter.
Get rid of the people that are just
Superman cannot make food or shelter. Well, he can make shelter, but he can't make food.
Yes, he can.
How do you make food?
Dude, he can heat up crops and shit. You know, he can
kryptonite piss?
Dude, it's Superman. Like, he's got the heat vision, the cold breath. He could probably dig a whole agricultural field out of the whole state of Iowa and plant the seeds in like less than an hour.
You know what Superman I like? I like Red Sun Superman.
But the one that fell in the communist fucking Russia?
Yes.
How did he? What was his? How did that one go? What was the?
It's actually funny because that story actually comes full circle because he instead of landing on Earth, he lands into communist Russia. He becomes he becomes obsessed with the communist way,
right?
And then I have the book somewhere here. It actually comes full circle where you find out that his great grandchildren in like the year 20,000 whatever,
right?
Pussy.
Actually, it comes around and it ends up that Superman actually ends up landing. Well, Earth becomes Krypton. Earth is Krypton, and the whole story it comes full circle.
And it just goes
actually,
back.
Yep,
starts again.
It's a loophole. Like if you like, I think you just started Loki, right?
Who, me?
Yeah,
I did a couple weeks ago, but I haven't.
Did you finish it yet?
No. I can probably watch another episode or two tonight. I can probably get back into it.
It's great. Loki was written real great. If you want to, and especially if you're a Rick and Morty fan, because it was written by the writer of Rick and Morty. The whole timeline aspect is great. We could get into that the next After Dark because I am so into like timelines and time travel and shit like that.
There is a movie that was released in 2013. It's called Coherence. And me and Nikki just watched it when I was in Kansas City this last week. And that movie was kind of like a Morty's mind blower of a movie. Basically, it was like a Rick and Morty. It's basically watching like a Rick and Morty episode, except it was a drama. You know what I mean? So like, I highly recommend that if you can. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but once the slow burn picks up, which are around like 15-20 minute mark, once the slow burn kind of ends, you're kind of thrown into this like, what the fuck is actually going on? And that's basically all I'm going to say. Good movie though. It's called.
I'm gonna check. Listen, you've been very good with your suggestions. Like I watched Dark, and that was fucking crazy.
Dude,
That was fucking crazy, right?
fucking best TV show ever.
Dark.
I haven't
That
seen
was
it.
fucking crazy.
You need to watch it.
It's about time travel, incest, nuclear power.
Oh wow.
It's only 3 seasons long. It has a definitive ending, and that is probably the best single TV show I've ever seen in my life, because it was perfect. It was a 3-season long story.
It really was.
Has a start, has a fucking finish, and everything in between was just magnificently gorgeous. Magnificently gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have one scene from Rick and Morty, man, that just like it always pokes out in my head. It's like I got PTSD off this one scene, and it's when the black school teacher dude, and he's like a worm, and he's laying on the table, and they're eating him while he's alive. His kids, and he's like, "Oh no, my baby!
Run, my children! Run, my children!" And they're like eating them.
I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Fuck
The
yeah.
worst.
Or what about Simple Rick, where they got the dude strapped in the chair and they're just like making him relive like the best memory of his life over and over, so his brain can secrete the secret ingredient to like the wafer cookies. You know what I mean? So it's basically like a slave that's just reliving his fucking same memory over and
You know
over
he
again.
eats his own shit, right?
No, that's simple. That's Doofus Rick.
Doofus Rick. God, there's so
Yeah.
many Ricks.
Yeah, I know. It's Cool Rick, Tiny Rick, fucking Simple Rick. Yeah.
Pickle Rick, Dick Rick,
Yep.
Yellow Rick, Pink Rick, White Rick, Red Rick.
There's an infinite amount of Ricks.
Which
Who's the
also
Which I'm still understanding.
going back. There's are you guys caught up on the new shit? Are you caught up?
Somehow.
Okay. Well, there's not exactly an infinite amount of Ricks. They covered that in the last season, like the last episode of the last season, where like they kind of explained like how Rick, like to an extent, like why Rick is the way he is, and that there's something else outside of the central finite curve, basically. And that's like, yeah. And there's like a whole nother universe outside of where all the Ricks are gods, basically. They're gods, John. They're gods. If one person has that much power, they are a god. Like, gods can die. Just because they can die doesn't mean they're not gods. And you got that much, if you got that much power, you kind of become a god. Like, that's really what it is. Like,
But Superman they created life.
We don't know. I don't think we know.
Green Lantern is
Superman
more of a
can
god
fuck,
than
right?
fucking Superman, right?
Hey, Superman can fuck, right? He can have kids, right?
Listen, but that's procreation. That's not creating life.
That is the definition of procreation. That's the literal definition of procreation. Like,
That's a whole different type of procreation, though.
it's creating life.
He needs to build that. He needs to build Krypton. I heard Krypton's nice in the summer.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would not, if there was a person like Superman on Earth and he'd been here for 80 or 100 years and tried to keep everything, from falling apart. And then one day he was like, you know what? I got a home planet. I got to go back. Peace out. Good luck. Am I going to be the one to tell that dude no? Like, or that gal? Like, no, I'm not going to tell them no. Like, I'll be like, okay, you're the god, not me. Like, bye. You know what I mean? Like, later.
The theory of that, and that's the guy who's a time traveler who's coming back in time to get that IBM computer so that he can go back to the future with
Dude,
it.
I'm telling you, next week we need to do another episode of this so we could talk about that. His name is John Titor.
Yes.
Repeat after me. His name is John Titor.
His name is Robert Paulson. Sorry. His name is Robert. Sorry.
Yeah. And on that note, thank you for coming to Thank you for coming to After Dark, guys.
Good times, gents.
Thank you
Good
for coming
times.
to After Dark. We are celebrating life.
We are celebrating life tonight, so enjoy. Guys, have a good night.